We've got a great guest on now, and with great pleasure, I'd like to say hello to Emma Meek. Hello, Emma.
Hi, Natalie, how are you? Hi, Jack.
Hi, Emma, how are you? Morning.
Morning.
Thank you so much for coming on this morning. And we know you've already judged Natalie versus Jack, but we don't want you to reveal who the winner is yet, even though I see Jack's doing some kind of random dance out the corner of my eye, so we're not giving too much away. But how are you this morning? You all right?
Yeah, good. Been looking forward to talking to you about weddings. It's such a fun thing to do, and I've been tweeting madly about it to try and...
Still tweeting there, we can hear.
Yeah, are you still having a little tweet now?
I'm trying not to now. I'm trying to just focus completely. You know, obviously because I'm very professional.
You got people going, I can hear you, you're on the radio, I can hear you.
Well, basically, Emma, you are the managing director of Miss Bush Bridal in Ripley in Surrey, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
And so can you just tell us a little bit about yourself and what your background is and where perhaps where your passion for bridal wear came from originally?
Oh, absolutely. Well, I mean, my passion really for bridal wear comes from a passion just for dressing up and doing hair and makeup, and actually just being quite girly. I just accidentally fell into the family business in bridal wear, and I kept thinking this will be a temporary thing to do while my children are small, and 20 years later I'm still dressing people up and talking wedding all day, basically.
Is it something that you really enjoy? I mean, a lot of people get up and go to work in the morning and think, I've got work, but is it something that you get up, you think, I'm going to work today, I'm going to go and do all things bridal and dress people?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the going into the shop is just amazing. It's like a living, breathing OK magazine. You get to talk gossip about how people met their partners. You get to dress them up, talk about weddings and flowers. Obviously, clearly, bouquets as gorgeous as the ones that you and Jack have drawn.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So, from that point of view, it really is just about as pretty and as girly and as fun as you could imagine it is.
I'm quite well, Joe, I've got to say. Jack, are you feeling a bit jealous, or is it just me?
I'm oozing jealousy, as you can tell. I'll tell here, Natalie. Emma, good morning, as we said. And Natalie has mentioned your boutique, Miss Bush Bridal.
Yeah.
Such an interesting choice of name.
It is, and I'm surprised you couldn't think of a joke to go along with it.
No, I couldn't think of any.
No, we couldn't think of any jokes.
No, absolutely. No. People struggle to find a joke that goes along with the word bush. It is kind of, it's an unusual name. Most wedding dress shops are called something much more sort of evocative, like white something or ivory something. This actually was named by my mum and her original business partner back in the 80s, when I don't think their branding ideas were as strong. And the shop is named after a notorious Ripley good time girl who lived next door to the pub and was quite liberal with her affections, shall we say.
Love it.
So you've got quite strong links with the bush.
Yeah.
Very, very strong. But isn't there some kind of sweet shops?
It used to be, it used to be a sweet shop many years ago. So, I mean, very much still full of confection.
Oh, very good. We like what you did there. So, but it's got, at least there's a history to the name. It's just not, it's not a random made up.
No, very much. It's the family, the Bush family, are very central to Ripley life and still are, basically. So it's a very local name. But I think back, we didn't really think when we started the business, when my mum started the business, that 26 years later it would still be going. Otherwise, we'd have probably come up with a much cooler name.
No, listen, I know lots of people that know your shop, and I think it's because it's got a really original name. So, obviously, the welcoming atmosphere when they arrive. I've been there myself, so I know how brilliant you are. But it's very welcoming. No, it's fantastic.
Got to ask you, Emma, how do you advise and guide brides who have no idea what they're looking for? That must be quite difficult.
I think it is very difficult because I think there is. I think there's a lot of pressure to be this amazing kind of, celebrity bride looking the best you can ever be, and there's a lot of pressure on girls, and I think we're given enough body kind of crises from the media. So what I've tried to do to start with is put people at ease and say that we're not trying to change you in somebody, just trying to make you the best you that you can be. So it's trying to put that confidence with people to start with, so they don't have extra self-esteem issues or extra crises about how they look. So it's just really about making people feel really comfortable, and then you really want to put them in a dress that makes them feel just really excited, really looking forward to getting married, just the best they can be. Obviously, we do like a little bit of corsetry, we like a little bit of prettiness and a bit of bling, so that everything just sparkles and you just feel amazing. It's very good.
So, obviously, you deal with bridal gowns day in and day out.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have one particular favourite designer, or do you have several that you like?
I have several that I like. I have to say, we've got 4 designers that I've worked with for a very long time. The very famous Jenny Packham, who has dressed Kate Middleton quite a lot. She is one of our absolute favourites. We've also we also really love Suzanne Neville, and she dresses a lot of primetime TV stars. She's always dressing Bleakley, Kat Deely, and sort of Holly Willoughby. So she's another one of our absolute favourites. We deal
very
with
stylish women as well, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And they need that sort of, the dresses are kind of cut so well that they give you amazing body confidence, and you look good on a full 360-degree kind of angle on TV, which obviously makes you gain pounds. And I think really the idea that these women are also not teenagers, they're not skinny supermodels, they are real women with curves, and they're in their 30s, which is very much the sort of profile of our brides as well. So we have a lovely little Spanish designer, and then another really big company called Maggie Sotero, who've been with us ever since they've been in the UK, and they're brilliant too.
Stunning. I've tried on all of those dresses when I came to you, yeah.
She's wearing one now.
Yeah, I've actually got my wedding dress on now.
And what has Jack got his bridesmaid's dress on?
No, I've got a nice tux and a little flower poking out.
Yeah, he's got a bow tie on though as well. It looks very nice. It's very dashing this morning. And you polished your shoes.
I did. You can see my face in them. So Emma, what's the most difficult bride to work with then? Is there a particular sort of request that you find, or just a general type of lady that can be difficult to work with?
No, I mean, I think rightly some people can be very nervous in the run-up to their wedding, because there's a lot of pressure, and they're organising. It's like organising a conference or event alongside your day job. Most of my customers are very professional women, and they've got very busy lives. So I think there is a phrase that I don't really like, bridezilla.
I hate that word.
I hate it, basically, because I think people do get quite stressed, and I think it's not because they're demanding divas, but simply because there's an awful lot to juggle and manage. So I think that generally with our customers, though, if we click on the first appointment, they tend to be our customers, and then very often they've changed into, crossed over and become friends or collaborators on various projects. So I think it's very much a relationship, personality-based thing. And if we don't click, I think probably people try on a few dresses and then go get something somewhere else. It should be a fun part of your wedding planning. So if it's not fun...
Well, I tried on between 60 to 80 dresses probably. Because I thought I'm never going to do this again, so I might as well enjoy.
Absolutely.
Not obviously just at yourself, or I did go off somewhere else, and to try other dresses on. But I think it should be fun, shouldn't it, Emma? Yeah,
I think it's. I think it's a really incredibly good, fun thing to do with your family, your mother, sisters, cousins, or your friends, and it's just a really lovely opportunity to get together, do a couple of Saturdays trying on beautiful dresses, going for lunch, tasting your success with Prosecco, and just having a fun time. I think that's part of the part of the fun of planning a wedding. I think possibly it can become less fun when people overdo the shopping and have it as a sort of mission for 6 months, but it is good fun. Definitely, and you guys do definitely make it fun. I can definitely vouch for that. Now, you've mentioned about the designers that you work with dressing or providing styles and outfits for some of the celebrities. Who's the most famous person that's ever visited your boutique, or that you provided a gown for? And what dress did they choose? Come on, I'm so desperate to know. I had a very, very famous actor come into the boutique a couple of months ago. Did you? So famous that I actually just completely corpsed and couldn't speak, and I did the worst appointment of my entire life. And I'm like, you can't be in here. This cannot be happening to me. You're starstruck, Emma. I'm totally starstruck. Who was it? Are we allowed to know or not? I don't know. I guess. Go for it. Come on, tell us who it is. It was an actor called Nicholas Hoult, who was the little boy in About a Boy. About a Boy, yes, of course. And in I Know the X-Men. And oh boy, did I absolutely, completely cock that appointment up. When I suddenly realised who he was, I was like, oh my God, and you're actually going out with the girl from the Hunger Games. And I'm just, no, I was really bad. I just was sitting there thinking, I can't actually speak. But we do have, in Ripley, it's very odd because there is quite a lot of famous people that live in and around the village. Yeah. And so it's quite well frequented by sort of like, say, you can walk along and be, that Paul Weller, Eric Clapton, that's fine. You get used to seeing them, but actually in your shop, it's a completely different matter. But most of, as I say, we've also, we were really lucky to do a wedding dress for a lovely girl called Ellen, whose sister Molly was in the Saturdays. So we did her bridesmaid's dress as well, which was really nice. So,
beautiful.
Really lovely family. So, but we have had, as I say, not, we don't obviously get dropped in on by Angelina Jolie or anything like that, but there is that sort of level of, people, our customers are in media and in the entertainment industry, so lots of lovely dancers and people that work in West End shows and things. So
they come and visit you. So if you had a choice, Emma, if I said you could choose a gown and work with any celebrity that's that is alive now, or somebody from the past, who would it be, and what would you choose for them? What dress would you, or what design?
Oh, crikey. Well, basically, I probably, I have to say, I fancy myself as a bit of a designer, so I would like to work with my in-house team and create a dress. Actually, one person that I would really love to dress is, she's not that famous, but a woman called Lauren Laverne, who does the culture show, and she actually tweeted me back, and so she's always been a bit of a hero of mine, and she does a really good fashion column for The Observer on Sunday. So I basically will just, when I've got my collection together, I'm basically going to phone her up and say, we're going to make you a dress. So
fantastic.
That's my little plan on that. But, fantasy women to dress, I would love to, dress Kate Moss. I've got a complete girl crush on Cara Delevingne, so in fantasy dress-up, those would be my house models, basically.
Perfect. Do you know what, I'm just thinking, Kelly Brook's just got engaged, hasn't she?
Absolutely.
What would you choose for her? Because she's a lady with a very, very beautiful, voluptuous figure. She's quite top-heavy, excuse the expression. What would you choose for her?
Well, I would be straight away going for a beautiful couture Suzanne Neville dress, fantastically corseted, and just give her the sort of siren curves that her sort of Marilyn Monroe figure deserves. Sort of quite Jessica Rabbit, fishtail and sleek and gorgeous. So, and then just keep it very natural. Keep your hair dark and curled with a very long train-length veil. It'll be beautiful. Very beautiful girl.
Sounds good. Literally, it's just so Moorish. It's wonderful. Sorry, Jack.
No, that's fine. So Emma, if we've got any recently engaged ladies listening to the show this morning, how far in advance of the wedding should a bride start shopping and looking for that perfect dress?
Well, try telling an engaged lady not to start shopping as soon as they get engaged. I have known people to start shopping when they think being engaged is on the cards.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, crikey, that's tempting fate. A bit premature for me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I would suggest that, I would get an idea, if you're getting married and you've got a year's notice, I'd probably start having a look about, so maybe 8 months beforehand, with a view of ordering at least 6 months beforehand. Not because it takes that long to make each dress individually, but you don't want to be working
it's a big decision,
panic
isn't it?
deadlines.
Yeah, and you don't, it just allows then to for any anomalies that may occur, it just means that you're giving yourself enough time. You don't want to rush it, do you?
No, absolutely, and you've got to be aware that there's fittings and things to do, and people also are very much, keeping their annual leave saved up for their honeymoon and can't make it to fittings except for weekends, which can get very booked up. So I think it's worth being organised, as with all things bridal. But if somebody's got 4 weeks, 6 weeks to their wedding, they shouldn't be too scared to come in. We always have our display dresses can be sold, or we've got brilliant advice for everybody. I think it can be quite intimidating, and I think that some of our colleagues in the wedding industry sort of look a bit horrified when people haven't got much notice, but there's always karma, and kind of fate will always deliver you a perfect dress to wear.
Well, interesting. Talking about perfect dresses, we know that women do come in different shapes and sizes, don't we, Emma?
I'm very different shapes and sizes myself.
Yeah, well, so I think this is quite a nice thing, because you obviously have a wealth of experience and have been working in the industry for such a long time. If you could give some advice to our lovely brides-to-be out there, what would you suggest they went for cut and shape-wise, and what should they avoid if I just say pear-shaped, hourglass, and say bigger busted, so things that they should look for or go for and try on, and perhaps something they should avoid? So let's start with pear-shaped, shall we, Emma?
Oh, well, pear-shaped, I mean, the thing is, I think for girls that are pear-shaped, you've got a bit of a curvy bottom at the moment. Basically, this season loves you. Kim Kardashian has done so much for a little bit of junk in the trunk, basically. So I don't think that you need to particularly avoid anything unless you're self-conscious yourself. I mean, I've always fancied having a bit of a curvier bottom, so I would, but if you don't want to show it off, then nip in a little corset to the waist and go for a ball gown skirt. If you fancy, being a bit Kardashian with your look, then, a fit and flare dress, which fits down. It doesn't hug too close into the knee, but it fits down, give you a beautiful Pippa Middleton shape from behind.
Which isn't a bad thing, is it? I mean, her bottom was very famous. What about if you're an hourglass figure?
Hourglass, I mean, again, you're very lucky. You can just nip in the waist. I mean, I think that's the thing, that the area that girls always just look at. You can see it in the mirror. The eyes go straight to their waist and how flat their stomach looks, which, by the way, girls, is not actually real. I see so many girls in their pants that nobody has taut skin between their hip bones, just saying. So I think all the bridal designers acknowledge that, everybody wants to have that nipped-in waist look, and so they usually kind of cut to be very flattering at that point. So, yeah, I think hourglass is pretty easy to dress. I don't think you can rule anything out there.
Oh, brilliant. And what about if you're the bigger busty lady, a bit like we were saying about Kelly
Well,
Brook?
I'd like to compare myself to Kelly Brook.
Go for it.
Obviously,
Emma.
I look like her mum, probably.
Oh, don't be silly.
But, basically what I would suggest for that, because I think over the last couple of years there has been a few sort of dodgy images of sort of back cleavage and kind of bad fitting strapless dresses, not from us, I hasten to add, on a bigger bust. So my feeling is this season it's very fashionable. The different necklines are back in fashion, so with straps, sleeves, arms. So actually being able to wear a proper bra that's correctly fitted for you is going to make everything so much easier from that point of view. So I basically look for a dress that isn't strapless and that you can wear really good underwear with, so that you've got proper support and you're comfortable all day and you're not, hitching it up and it's not giving you about 6 boobs. No,
absolutely. And from my opinion, I've been a bride, and actually when your dress fits you perfectly, I had a strapless dress, it was a sweetheart neck, and yet it sat just in the same place, totally comfortable all day. And I think that is quite crucial, isn't it, Emma, that you choose something that you're comfortable in?
I think comfortable, and I will have to just wave the flag for our fitting service here. I mean, every dress can look really pretty on the hanger, but you've also got to get the backup fitting service right, because, again, not that I would necessarily suggest to people they need to change shape when they order a dress, but girls inevitably do. They throw themselves into boot camps and juicing diets and all sorts of things. So I would basically suggest that you've got a really good backup fitting service, because when things don't fit, that's when they're uncomfortable, that's when they shift around on you, and you want to be able to put on your dress and forget about it. So it's got to be beautifully fitted.
Oh, brilliant. Emma, thank you so much. What we do, Emma, whenever we have a guest on, whether it be in the studio or over the telephone like your lovely self, we always do what we call a little quick fire round with all of our guests, and we sometimes, and Jack has very kindly put a little quiz together. Now, are you up for both of these?
Yeah, okay, go ahead. I can, yep.
Yeah, fantastic.
Okay, so our quick fire round, there are just literally 10 questions, and you have to just say the first thing that comes into your mind.
Right, okay.
All right, okay. Are you ready?
Yeah, go.
Okay. First one then, Emma. Satin or lace?
Lace.
A-line or fishtail?
Fishtail.
Heels or flats?
Heels.
Maggie Sotero or Susan Neville?
Oh, Suzanne.
Suzanne, sorry.
Veil or no veil?
Veil.
Church or civil ceremony?
Church.
Summer or winter wedding?
Winter.
T-length or full length?
Full length.
Band or DJ?
Band.
And finally, tiara or floral headpiece?
Floral this season.
Oh, love it.
Interesting.
Oh, Emma, thank you. That's really fascinating, because when you're on the spot, you're like, oh no, and having to choose Suzanne over Maggie
I
was
know.
was
basically, there could be an outside chance that Suzanne will hear my answers, but I love those labels both equally.
And apologies to Suzanne that I called you Susan. I have no idea why, because I know it's Suzanne, but
And yes, that's right, Emma. So we've put together, compiled a little quiz which we're calling for this feature "Bush with Bush." Okay, and it's just a little general knowledge quiz. Don't get too panicky. I know we haven't talked to you about this off air, but you'll be fine, okay?
Okay.
Okay, right. So question 1. Complete the sentence. A bird in the hand is worth 2 in the...
Bush.
Okay.
Complete the name of the US president in office from 2001 to 2009. George.
Bush.
Who sang the famed song Wuthering Heights? Kate.
Bush.
Complete the following nursery rhyme. Here we go round the...
Mulberry bush.
What is traditionally eaten the evening of the wedding?
I can't say bush to that.
No, it was cake.
It was cake. It was cake, that one. Emma, you have been absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Just for everybody that's out there, just please give your wonderful boutique a quick plug, because you do offer an amazing bridal service.
Oh, thank you, Natalie. It's been really fun speaking to you. Like, you may have to kind of like phone me up every Wednesday and interview me now, but girls, if you want to come and have some fun, try on some dresses, come and join us at Miss Bush.
Oh, and it's in Ripley in Surrey, and definitely go, ladies. It is an experience in itself, I promise you.
And just before you go, Emma, you're going to reveal who won Natalie versus Jack this week?
Oh, Jack, it was you.
Yes.
I'm really sorry, Natalie. I really wanted it, obviously, to be the girl.
Good decision. If your dresses are as good as your decisions, I'm there.
And mine was a little bit, almost had a little bit of a saucy. I don't know what I was thinking about when I was drawing.
It had a bit of topiary about it, definitely. Definitely a bit of a bush on a stick, definitely.
It definitely was. But thank you so much, and lovely to talk to you. Take care. Have a
Thanks,
fab
Emma.
day.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.
Bye, Emma.
Bye-bye.
Bye.